Hey y'all. So if you watched the first video, then you're like, girl, you sit in the same space with the same sweatshirt on. You right, because I record both of these back to back. Okay. Again, like I said in that last video, uncut. We doing this thing. Being more authentic, just letting things flow. So in this first video, I want to let you know, like, again, legit where I'm at. So, I have been on my healing journey since 2015. So it started, so again, for those of you who don't know, my name is Latanya. Let me start here. My name is Latanya Franklin, and I'm the founder and owner of The Self Inside. The Self Inside is a space to help Black women to heal from intergenerational trauma and racism. We provide individual therapy, Reiki, support groups, as well as workshops. And so I am a licensed clinical social worker. And so what my brain was telling me to, like, look, sis, we need to move from that. Not from being a social worker, because I love being a social worker, but to move into a space of saying healer. So that is one of the things I am working on, that I do consider myself a healer. I am, let me go back. So, the way my brain work, okay? Uh, so my healing journey started in 2015. I started off as a school social worker. So went to Loyola University. So at Loyola, Loyola, I love Loyola. They promoted, but they like told us, like, you need to go to therapy. Like, your own shit is gonna come up. Yo, you need to go to therapy as a therapist. In 2015, right? Young therapist. I'm like, nope, I'm good. I had graduated in 2014. I'm like, I'm in it. I'm doing it. Yeah. I truly believe, like, the healing and all of that stuff started, that journey started while I was in school. Because even learning things in my program, the social work program, stuff just started to come up. So, like, stuff about my daddy started to come up. I just started to recognize, like, the things that I did not have. And things that I did not have, in terms of, again, like, my dad not being present and how that felt. I can remember in one of my first classes having to make a family tree, and, like, having to walk out of class so I can cry, because I realized, like, damn, like, I'm the only Black person in this class, and I ain't get shit on my tree because I don't know these folks. So, like, walking out crying, and just like, so it was just like a lot of stuff that came up during that time. And so, but in 2015, was sitting in front of a student, and they said yet again something about their daddy, and child, not waterworks, but I was like in the session with this student while being a school social worker, trying to hold it together. And honey, I was like, oh shit, I think I need to go to therapy. And so my journey started then. On my very first session, I said, like, hey, told the therapist, like, yo, I need to make sure whatever ish that I am holding, because at that point I still really didn't know, like, whatever I am holding, I needed to release. I had just started my relationship. Well, we was just dating with my now husband. And I was like, hey, like, I'm starting this new relationship. At some point, I want kids, like, or kid. I ain't made up my mind at that point, but, like, kids and kids, like, I need to, like, whatever I'm holding, whatever's coming from my family, I don't want this shit to keep going. Like, this needs to stop. And so that was literally my first therapy session. And I have been in therapy since then. I took maybe a couple months break when my therapist broke up. Well, she broke up with me, okay, because she moved, so we no longer was able to see each other for a little moment. But honey, when COVID started, I found her. And so we started back up. So my therapist, again, to be fully transparent and authentic, I at one point was scared to say this, because I'm here to support Black women. I was afraid to say that my therapist from 2015 until, what's this, 2024? So like the spring, yep, when I started my lock. So the spring of last year, so last April, was a white woman. But this white lady, y'all, she would, when we talk about being culturally competent, understanding what her limitations was, understanding trauma, gag concentration, because I was her black, like all of the things, she was amazing. And so that's why we were able to stay together as long. I didn't feel like I needed to, if I was having an issue with white people, I would say like, you know, white people get on my nerve, or like, we would have a conversation about how I felt telling her some things with her being a white woman. So it was so good, but I reached a point in my journey where I needed a black therapist. And it was so funny because I was actually in the shop getting twisted for the, starting my lock journey. And we were on the phone and we both was like, mm-hmm. Like, mm-hmm. Because I think at that point I had started, really diving deep into spirituality and like, I think I need somebody black. And like without any words, it was just like a mm-hmm. We both knew it was ready. And so I switched to my night therapist, black woman, amazing as well. So I've been really blessed to have like the therapist that I've had over these years. And so all of that is to say that, like, right, that was a little bit of my history of like my healing journey, my therapist, my very first goal for therapy. And so it's been just that was the history of it, my brain. History of it. And so being right now in a space where with all of those years of healing, and I'll talk about this too, like understanding how I, like who I am aside from my family, because that is a fucking stage. Understanding my own values, like who I am as now a mom and wife and friend, like how I want to show up in the world, all of those things. Where I am this week today, and I just realized right now in this moment, because like we get to know each other, right? We becoming here. In order to explain like how I got to this space, I may have to go back in the past. So I hope that's okay with y'all. That I go back into a little past a little bit of how we got there. But today, this week, what I am working on is releasing old, just like being ready to release old behaviors, survival behaviors that came from that came from my childhood. So for instance, feelings of unworthiness, not letting love in fully, not receiving help, not fully letting myself be excited about things, not celebrating myself, not being able to dream big. Like these are the things that I'm trying to release. But I want to, one thing I can say about healing that is like it's a spiritual journey. And so I hope y'all this isn't choppy. I'm just, again, y'all, I'm not editing it, so it's just coming out. My brain is working. Being on a healing journey is also very spiritual. Spiritual awakening, I think it naturally happens because you start to see the world differently. And so I'm figuring out and getting support for a spiritual mentor, which I hope she okay with me calling her this because that's what she is, sis. That getting counsel around like how to release parts of my like my younger self that is no longer like serving me and her, serving little Tanya, myself inside, and me, like that's no longer serving us, so we can move to these greater heights. So that's honestly where I am, what I'm working on. So this week I am making a list. So I'm going to do a ritual around it, but I'm going to do the ritual like on my birthday. I'm like deciding, and I know exactly where I'm going to do it. It is gorgeous. So I'm going to be doing that to again like release these parts of me that comes from my childhood that I've learned from whether it's my family or traumas of being, you know, like different experiences in school or whatever. I learned this shit that needs to be let go of, so I can move to the higher spaces where I want to be in and need to be in, and God wants me to be in. I gotta release all of this old survival shit, this old trauma shit. And so that's where I am. So right now, just making a list. And I can actually, I'm gonna grab it. Y'all, I was on here talking and I never lit my sage. I just realized it. Okay. So you know what I'm gonna do? Okay, because my husband was messing with my lighter. I am going to light this. Oh, I love sage. I have a window open because, you know, when you light sage and you release it and all of this good stuff, you need what you're trying to protect, cleanse yourself of, and need to go somewhere, which would be out of the window. So got my sage going. Y'all want some? But let me show you. Let me grab my journal. Drop my pen. Anywho, I told y'all the train may happen. But yeah, so this is my beautiful journal. Through Reiki, my training to become a Reiki practitioner, I learned my connection to trees and nature. So I found my journal with a nice pretty tree on it. But yeah, so I'm literally making a list. The top, I know y'all can't read my chicken scratch. Sometimes I can't read it. But it's okay. Younger child, slash little Latanya. This side is all about like what I want to release. The old behaviors and survival behaviors and thoughts that we had to keep with us in order to survive what we was back then. I'm just making a list of it. And then on this side is what I want to keep. What's the behaviors? Because not everything that I have or not all the behaviors that I learned or that I had or have is bad, right? Or they need to be released. So this side is what I am keeping, or more or less what I am enhancing. And this side is what I am releasing. And so it's going to be an ongoing list. Whenever I think about it throughout the day, I'm just going to write it down. And so when I have this, you know, like this time with myself for my birthday this year, on my actual birthday, I'm going to go ahead and do a ritual to release those things. Because we have to. Like when I say we, me and little Tanya, always when I say we, that's what me and her, like we got some big dreams. We do. Like I have some really big dreams, and I want to take her with me because we've been in this thing forever. It's been me and her, and so I want her to go with me. But it's some things that we have to release that we can't take with us because they're preventing us from doing what we need to do. So that's where I'm at. I'm compiling this list and what I'm going to enhance from my sister girl and what we're going to release. And so that's where I'm at on my healing journey right now. Like I said, I gave y'all a little bit of history, and I'll, depending on where I'm at, what I'm working on, I'll go back to like bring y'all back up to date, if that makes sense. But all right, y'all, this is the first video. Again, this is where I'm at. Yeah, this is where I'm at. I was going to repeat all that stuff I said earlier. I need to repeat that. Y'all can rewind. Go back. But this is where I am, compiling this list. If you want, if you're open to it, if you're moved to, let me know where you are on your journey. It don't fucking matter. Like, yes, I've been doing this since 2015. But shit, if you started yesterday, sis, that is fine. Go ahead. Let me know where you are in the comments below. Or send me a message, whatever. But I will keep y'all updated. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for checking out this video. And I will chat with y'all soon. Bye.